Let's get it. What's going on? The Real Deal Sports Show family.
Yes,
Hey,
sir.
getting the beat right early. I love it. I love it. Well, hey, good morning, Real Deal Sports Show family. I'm, of course, the fanatic, trying to be best dressed like my partner in crime right here. My man cleaner than the Board of Health. My man J-GILLZ, good morning to you. How you feeling?
Hey, good morning, fanatic. Good morning, Real Deal Sports Show family. Crazy time. They call these a dog days of summer, but now all real fans, all real sports fans know what's going down. You got free agency going on. Training camp coming up. You can never get too much, man. These ain't the dog days. It's still a lot of good stuff to look forward to.
Heck yeah, heck yeah. And this week did not disappoint, especially with my LSU Tigers winning the College Baseball World Series. But we're going to come back on that, man. But we know, hey, it's the Real Deal Sports Show. The Rad Man, he is not off, but he's off from here, but he's not on vacation somewhere like he should be. Still out here grinding. You know, you got to make sure you check him out. Follow the Rad Man at George Radman on Twitter. Check him out at George Radman. You can see it there on the bottom. Of course, y'all know what it is. Real Deal Sports Show. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, comment, and subscribe to us on YouTube at Real Deal Sports Show. Hit the bell icon to receive notifications. But you already know the notifications. Every Saturday morning, we're going to give it to you real, many different opportunities to see sports from a different lens. And we're not going to talk just the mainstream media conversations. We're going to always pull you behind the curtain to let you know what's going on. So, hey, we know we always got a shout out and dedication to make sure that we salute and give love. Buffalo 10, always continuing to show you love, never forgotten. As the Radman would say, that it's a perfect word for it, dastardly act that happened on Tops that came all the way from way across New York State, come to Buffalo into our community to do that dastardly act. So we're never going to be forgotten. We still follow that case, making sure that he gets what he deserved for that heinous, terrible, and dastardly act. So Buffalo 10 always show love for you. And DeMar Hamlin, keep getting better big time. DeMar, hopefully we'll get you on the show one day here, but definitely want him to keep getting well.
Absolutely, man. Got to.
Hey, so we're gonna jump right into it. We know it's all sports of all sorts. We got the Buffalo Bills, man. They out here trying to make some moves. J-GILLZ, you know him as the insider of all insiders, man. Him and the Rad Man are able to follow the Bills closely. J-GILLZ, any thoughts on the Bills? Because I will say I was listening to Stefon Diggs on the shop. Stefon Diggs, I think there's just a ticking time bomb ready to happen. So talk to me about Stefon Diggs. How do you see the relationship with him and Josh Allen? Can it be salvaged? And then talk anyway where you want to go with about the Bills.
Well, fanatic, definitely all eyes on the offense, all eyes on the continuity and the chemistry between franchise quarterback Josh Allen and franchise receiver Stefon Diggs. If anything, if those two's relationship ended anything how it did last year with Stefon Diggs having a tantrum and running off the field, leaving the game without talking to the media, without talking to anybody after that blowout loss by the Cincinnati Bengals, it was just a terrible loss to them. And then he hasn't been heard of since, except for a couple weeks ago being spotted as not reporting to training camp, causing all sorts of drama, stirring up everything. So the way I see it, it's going to be a rocky start for the Bills. They better hope that they can muster up some wins early because that right now that relationship is looking very, very sour. When I look at Stefon Diggs and look at the contract that he's getting, nothing's really changed since last year. Ken Dorsey, this is going to be another season in that offense. However, he wasn't a big part of it last year, and we're going to see if he's going to continue to be a big part of it this year. But like I said, it's something to keep an eye on is that relationship between Josh Allen and Stefon Diggs for sure.
I like that. And I guess for you, if you in that situation, man, you done met a lot of people. You got to meet a lot of different athletes. It's super dope with that. I guess the ego of an athlete. I mean, we all play sports, but it's a different level when you play collegiately than you actually make it to the league. Different kind of athlete. That mentality of him, I can definitely feel he feels to be overlooked, someone who doesn't get the love that he should get. Is it really a possibility when you think that way, and that's what's gotten you to the point of success? Is there a balance with him that you think it can be, again, salvageable to say, hey, let's turn it off right here and be just selfless with the team Do you think there's any chance about that with Stefon Diggs again? And to me, it's that dichotomy of you've been shortchanged, you feel like your whole life, and that's what gets you to the league. Is there a way, J. Gill, that you've seen that a professional athlete can then turn it off and say, you know what, I'm going to turn that piece off of me and say it is more about the team? Because that's what it really seems like this whole thing is about. Is Stefon Diggs doesn't think he can get the rock. He should get the rock even more, even though they haven't won with him getting the rock as much as he has.
I mean, I think Stefon right now, that's a great point, Fanatic. Absolutely. The mentality that you have coming into them being him, especially on that team, being traded for a first-round pick and then producing, getting your team back into the playoff mix is what he's essentially done. And when you look around the league, chemistry is a huge, huge thing with a lot of these successful teams, whether it's a Patrick Mahomes and a Travis Kelce, a Jamar Chase and a Joe Burrow, Tua, and Tyreek Hill, who welcomed him with open arms, and a Jalen Waddle. And then you see it also, Devontae Smith and Jalen Hurts. It's about chemistry, getting guys together, keeping them together for a long time, and the chemistry is just not there. It's not for a lack of production when it comes to Stefon Diggs. Stefon Diggs just came off of a 100-catch season, another 1,400 yards, 11 touchdowns. So the production is there. It's just in crunch time. It's just when the game matters. You have to get the ball in the hands of your best player. And I think that Stefon Diggs is seeing that Josh Allen isn't that quarterback that's going to be a clutch quarterback in the fourth quarter. I mean, the Rad Man has stated that many times on this show, and I think that's really what it boils down to. Like I said, the production is there, but it's not in the clutchness. Josh Allen hasn't really proven to be that quarterback to get his guys the ball when it matters. Gabe Davis, Isaiah McKenzie, he's throwing the ball in nowhere's land when he's got a capable number one receiver who's essentially always open, and he just can't get him to rock. Now, maybe that's a Ken Dorsey problem. Maybe that's a Josh Allen reading the offense problem. But it all starts
rocks with in his head. He got rocks in his head.
Right, though. Shout out to the Rad Man. Yeah. But, it's essentially going to come down to consistency and keeping that chemistry with your number one receiver and your franchise quarterback.
Hey, well, put us on game. Again, you see the Bills up close and personal. You see modern football. Your aptitude for the NFL is off the charts. So let's keep it real. Is this a Stefon Diggs? Can Stefon Diggs get the rock like he has been with all those targets, all those catches? Can that work while you still win a championship? Or at least for Buffalo fans, I think even if we at least get to the Super Bowl, Bills fans would enjoy that. But ideally winning one. Do you think that it can be both? Or do you think the Bills really need to reshape the offense to say, nah, we got to run the ball a whole lot more?
See, I think it boils down to a Josh Allen. When I look at the productive teams, when I look at the teams that's getting money right now, you take it back to Tom Brady with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and their Super Bowl. Tom Brady got the ball to Antonio Brown, and he got the ball to Mike Evans. Those are his guys. When I look at the legacy of Patrick Mahomes, the connection between him and Travis Kelce is magic. When it's money time, it's Travis Kelce time. When I look at Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, same thing. He's been able to knock off those same Chiefs by dominant games, getting his receiver the ball. And if for some reason Josh Allen just can't do it in the clutch, he cannot get his receivers the ball. He had a magnificent divisional round a couple years ago, seeing Gabe Davis 4 times in the end zone. We thought Gabe was going to take the leap. He didn't take the leap. Stefon's been the most consistent piece on that team. If for some reason he can't get him the ball. Now, does this boil down to ego, as you stated earlier on the show? Is Josh Allen not wanting to give Stefon Diggs the light? Does he not want to make it about the receiver? Is it some sort of envy there maybe between the city of Buffalo, Josh Allen, and Stefon Diggs? Is it just Stefon's too much of a diva for him? I'm not sure. But for some reason, he's not doing what a franchise quarterback's supposed to do with a franchise receiver, and that right there has caused a lot of turmoil in the Bills organization. And if you look at it right now, the AFC East is only getting better. The Miami Dolphins emerging, unless that Tyreek Hill scandal. That's another thing to talk about. But the New York Jets, Aaron Rodgers, even Bill Belichick and the Patriots, I'm having a lot of respect for them. With Bill O'Brien at the offensive coordinator, they've extended Devontae Parker. They're looking at adding a DeAndre Hopkins to that loaded double tight end set like Bill Parcells, like Bill Belichick loves to run with a Mike Gesicki and a Hunter Long. I think that they're very, very slept on too. So if they don't get it together, then they need to get it. They're going to have some. They're going to be in the basement in the AFC East. I'm fearful of, and it all starts with getting everybody on the same page. And maybe the guy that we need to start looking at is a Sean McDermott, because how come he can't get a handle on his players? One week he's saying, "Oh, I didn't know that Stefon Diggs was in that training camp." The next week he's saying everybody's together and they kumbaya. So I don't know what's going on over there. But Sean McDermott is going to be on the hot seat if they don't get it together quick. All I know is this: that Madden curse might be coming a little too soon for your boy Josh Allen. So they need to get it together in Buffalo, or it's going to be some major changes.
Man, that's very, very well said, J-GILLZ, man. Very well said. So I guess for you, I know it's early. It's real early. I know you got plenty of time to still look at this. When you look at training camp, what do you think is that where the all eyes are going to be for you and your perception of where the Bills can go? Is it going to be really looking at that Josh Allen and Stefon Diggs relationship? Or for me, what I've been trying to say last week, I talked about Mike Malone and Sean McDermott having parallels. And I'm starting to maybe see, is Josh Allen a lesser version of James Harden? Is he just a really good regular season player? Now, he's got no MVPs. At least James Harden has. Is James, but we know James Harden. He's getting a little bit better in the clutch. But when he get to a certain level in the playoffs, my man look like he don't know how to play basketball. He look like he don't know which hand to play with or shoot with or try and defend with. So I'm like, is Josh Allen just a little bit lesser talented, but same trajectory of clutch career in the playoffs? James Harden. To me, my question for you, J-GILLZ, when you're looking at training camp, is McDermott the big storyline? Is it Diggs versus the Bills, Diggs versus the Josh Allen, or is it really the defense? No Leslie Frazier. What say you is the big viewpoint that you're looking at when it comes to training camp?
Well, first off, Fanatic, what a beautiful comparison. That was spot on. I love that comparison. James Harden, Josh Allen. That's a great comparison. I like that. The big story for me going into training camp, what I want to see is I kind of want to see Ken Dorsey's offense because to me that'll determine a lot. This is year 2 in that playbook. It's a chance for Stefon Diggs, who've already looked at the playbook and was upset. He saw that playbook, saw the similarities of last year, and then didn't even want to go to training camp. That's how pissed off he was. He didn't want to go. He read that playbook and said, all right, we're in the same situation. So, that to me, I want to see how this offense flows with a little bit better running game. You lost Devin Singletary, the 3rd-round pick from a couple years back. James Cook asserting himself as the lead back. How effective can that be for this Bills offense? Damian Harris, a great second punch. So they've got a 1-2 punch in the running game. To me, that's going to be a little bit more effective than it was last year. Those two backs complement each other well. James Cook in his second season. So I'm really focusing on the offense. I'm going to give the defense a pass. As huge as it was for Leslie Frazier to be gone, you still got both of your Pro Bowl safeties, Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer brought him back. You've got Khalil back there, Tre'Davious White. So I'm not really as worried on the defense. That defense has a lot of chemistry. Year 2 in this offense with Ken Dorsey. Like you said, with Josh Allen, Stefon Diggs, I want to see how they look. I want to see how they mesh. And to me, it's about how this offense is going to run, and it all starts in training camp. That's the big story for me.
Got it. Well, that is great insight. And, of course, we only get on the Real Deal Sports Show. We're going to talk to the Radman more about it. But, J-GILLZ, you definitely holding your own. Hey, now, we do got to go ahead and pay some bills real quick. Got to shout out our girl, Miriam Rivera. Check her out, insurance agency, auto, home, health, and life insurance. Hey, it's summertime. We all feeling good, kind of relaxed, a little bit less stress going on in the world for most of us. Hey, this is a perfect time to really look at that life insurance. Make sure you get your health in order. We definitely need your home and auto insurance. 1038 Lyle Avenue or 511 Bean Road. Suite B, go pull up on our girl Miriam. She can get you taken care of, or just pick up the phone. Those locally, 360-0094, or out of the city of Rochester, throw the 585 up in there, and you can give her a shout at 585-360-0094. Hey, J-GILLZ, you mentioned it earlier, man. Again, they talk about the dog days of summer with sports and different things. Hey, I know we got our guests coming on here in a little bit, but hey, let's go NBA talk real quick. the full court press. You know, we play them 94 feet, J-GILLZ. Get down to that defensive stance, put my hands on somebody real quick as we play in D. Let's talk about it, man. Free agency is upon us. Talk to us about. Actually, you know what, J-GILLZ? I'm gonna be a little selfish here because I'm really excited.
Give it to us, Fanatic. Give it to us, man.
Fred VanVleet, man. I love those Wichita State teams. Fred VanVleet getting a chance to go as an undrafted player to somebody now 3 years, making 30 million. I think I saw that number. And he get to go play in H-Town, Houston, with a young team, kind of be a leader for them with very low expectations on winning. So he can just go out there and play and get buckets. 130 million for just a 3-year deal. And he's in a state with no income tax. Texas got some real issues, though. We know that. Texas out of state got some wild stuff going on. But, hey, when you hooping in Houston, great city, great fun that you can have, and you get the no income state tax. I'm really, really happy. Fred VanVleet, I know we covered him a lot with the Raptors being close to us in Western New York. But, man, Fred VanVleet, out of all the different signings, I was the happiest for Fred VanVleet because those teams with the Wichita State teams with Coach Marshall, Clee Anthony Early, man, that was some good college teams. I thought he was a good college player. I was surprised he went undrafted, and he just worked on his game. He plays all the time. Happy for Fred VanVleet and him getting that big deal. But J-GILLZ, what contracts did you like, didn't like? Your thoughts as we run this full court press?
Man, first off, over $1 billion.
Yeah.
Over $1 billion in contracts. They're talking about this new CBA and these teams can't be spending all this money. They got to get under the luxury tax. You don't want to get that tax. You don't want to go over that tax level. But yet I see people getting paid more and more and more. I see a guy like Kyrie Irving averaging $42 million a year on his 3-year deal for $126 million.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a steal compared to the contract Tyrese Halliburton just signed. That extension was crazy. 5 years, $260 million for the point guard in Indiana, $52 million a year. That is ridiculous to me. Happy that he's securing his bag. I'm happy he's secured his bag. But this is one of the highest players in the NBA right now. And to me, that's just like mind-boggling. I couldn't believe that. Desmond Bane, also $42 million a year. That 5 years, $206 million. I mean, my God, these players are doing. They're securing the bag. I can't be mad at them. Now, some down low moves that I liked, that I'm really interested in. I love that Derrick Rose going back to Memphis to be a leader for Ja. The way that the Grizzlies front office has been able to turn that franchise around. We haven't seen it yet on the floor. We haven't seen it yet, but I have faith in them. When I see a Marcus Smart, Steven Adams, and now you add a veteran like D Rose who can mentor Ja, very similar playing styles, back to Memphis, right where Derrick Rose played in college and became a number 1 pick. I love to see him going there. I think that team's going to be much more grounded. I'm very excited for that. And then another team, I got to give our Lakers that, we got to give our Lakers that shout out. Rob Pelinka, to do the job that he's done, adding on the depth pieces, being able to retain our key free agents, getting pieces like a Cam Reddish, like a Gabe Vincent, stole him from Miami. Taurean Prince, another. And these are tough guys who Darvin Ham's going to have a field day coaching. The toughness is going to be there. The shooting is going to be there. And I'm just proud of that team. Under the luxury tax as well. You got to give Rob credit for that. And still got a little bit of money to play with because I don't believe they signed D'Angelo Russell back yet. So we still got about $15 to $18 million to play with to possibly go out and get a Brook Lopez who will fit miraculously next to Anthony Davis. And that front court will actually be formidable to go up against the reigning champions, Denver Nuggets. So it's still some moves to be made here. A lot of free agents on the table. But, yeah, man, these are far from the dog days of summer for anybody who loves the NBA. And that's why you got to always check out the Real Deal Sports Show for that full court press with your boy J-GILLZ and, of course, the Fanatic.
No doubt, no doubt. Hey, out of all those deals, man, great deals. And to me, yeah, man, hey, this is where we talk about money being spent Hey, these and I'm not gonna call them owners because again, we are trendsetters. I'm gonna call them governors or the people who preside over the franchise because something about that owners, man. Even of course being in Louisiana, it still give me a little bit of the heebie-jeebies. So I'm gonna say the governors or the people who preside over these franchises. They making money hand and foot, man, all over the place, man. That is insane to spend $1 billion and nobody thinks twice. But hey, J-GILLZ, just like I told you about the Joker. Hey, I'm glad we're recording this live. That Tyrese Halliburton, that is gonna be when we look 2 years from now. That's gonna be a great deal. You're gonna be looking at me like, did I say he getting paid $52 million? And that seems a little crazy. He's gonna be worth every penny. That kid, he is. We don't watch him enough, but again, I got my 2 little girls, so sometimes they don't sleep. So I was watching him up late at night, watching Sacramento. He is a star. He is legitimately already for me. I love him, SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I would easily put them both as a top 6 point guard in the league currently as of today. I would do it as of last week too. They are definitely some of the best players. Tyrese Halliburton, triple-double machine, long, lanky, career 40% three-point shooter, can rebound. He just silky smooth. He doesn't look super quick, but every time when he does one move, he's getting by you, getting you on his hip and going right to the cup, or he got a nice little mid-range game, floater game. Tyrese Halliburton, I'm telling you, J-GILLZ, I'm telling you now, that's going to be one of the best deals that you look around and you say, hey, 2 years from now, yo, Fanatic, my bad, man. That's a good deal when I look at it now. I'm telling you now, nobody watching the Pacers. I'm telling you, folks, when they give you that free league pass opportunity for the first week of the NBA season, check out the Pacers, man. The Fanatic not going to steer you wrong. Check it out, man. Tyrese Halliburton can ball smooth. I know the NBA really only talks about the Lakers and the Knicks and the Clippers and the Golden State Warriors, but there's plenty of other teams in the league. I'm telling you, it started exactly with the one and only. I can't say one and only, but Tyrese Halliburton. I'm always watching him on League Pass, no doubt about it.
No, I gotta give him his credit. I'm just saying. I mean, averaging 52 million a year. That's that Steph Curry money. That's all I'm saying. But that's all good. He's gonna be worth it. I believe that for sure. And then shout out to another guy, Bruce Brown, gonna be playing right there alongside him. He just got paid, only $12 million in his whole career and was able to get that 2-year, $45 million contract, surpassing his total career earnings. We're gonna be playing right there in Indiana with him. That's a huge deal.
Heck yeah, man. I'm really excited about that. The Pacers team, man. I was surprised when they traded Sabonis, but when I saw they got Halliburton for it, and now you bring in a Bruce Brown, a good vet from that the University of Miami team under Jim Larinaga, coached really well, does all the little things well. Man, I like it. I like him immensely, man. So it's gonna be good with that. So yeah, not to me, man, and I'm excited again as we can continue with our full court press. The coaching ranks. For me, when I look at really where the league is coaching wise, I'm realizing everybody's just making money, man. Coaches making money, players making crazy money. But it's so interesting to me, and going back to that Houston situation with Fred VanVleet, you get Ime Udoka. I know you're a big fan of him. The Rockets, again, as I watch my early games, Indiana, I'm going to watch them, no doubt. I'm still going to watch my man LeVar Ball's on, LaMelo Ball in Charlotte, man. I'm going to watch them early in the season. But then when the later games go, Houston, I'm interested to see this Houston team. A lot of young kids on that team. But Ime Udoka. So, J-GILLZ, talk to us here, coaching-wise. Is there anything where you're saying, it's coaching? To me, I'm thinking coaching a little bit overrated in the NBA these days because the players are so talented. Really, you got to just know when to call a timeout, when to not to. I think we'd scream and yell at our TVs about when to call a timeout and when not to. Man, I almost had an aneurysm watching those Celtics games, man. Your man Joe Mazzulla don't never like calling timeout. So it is so that's a little wild with that. But yeah, coaching wise, let me know your thoughts before we bring on our guest, the one and only Daryl Blue, coming on here in a minute.
Well, Fanatic, I gotta give coaching that edge. I gotta give coaching the edge, especially coming off of the NBA Finals where the Miami Heat, who are the 8th seed, with the undrafted guys. We all know the story. That team wouldn't be what that team was without a Pat Riley, without an Eric Spoelstra. without these, juggernaut coaches, these brains behind these schemes that we're seeing from the Miami Heat, these zones, and you got to give them the credit. Not every team can do that. You see a guy like Ty Lue being able to do what he does if those guys can stay healthy. I think that coaching is definitely the edge, and I think that Ime is definitely going to have a huge impact on Houston. I love to see him with a younger team. He seems to me more like a veteran coach. Like Boston was just a perfect fit. I loved him in Brooklyn being an assistant there, even though it didn't work out all the way. His time in San Antonio. So to get this young roster, Jalen Green, Amon Thompson, Jabari Smith Jr., and you got a veteran now in Fred VanVleet to run the show. I'm very curious to see. I think that they can make strides for sure. But another thing, real quick, before we wrap up, is I do want to give credit to the 585 Nuggets. How many Rochester guys are they going to have over there? Jaden
We love their scouting department.
Absolutely. Out of Penn State, is it? Yes.
Yeah, Jalen Pinkett. Yep.
Jalen Pinkett, yes, out of Penn State, going over there, joining Thomas Bryant and those 585 Nuggets, man. Everybody gonna have to get their Nuggets jerseys here in the 585.
I love it. I love it, man. Well, hey, we'll come back with a little bit more with the full court press coming on. Hey, man, J-GILLZ, I think we got them tired out. They just called a timeout right now. So on that timeout, we know before we bring on Mr. Daryl Blue, we got to shout out and continue to pay some bills. The Challenger Community News. Check it out, man. It's in your local community. Look around the corner, Rochester Corner Store, churches, public buildings, libraries. Challenger Community News, Western New York's largest weekly African-American newspaper, giving you all the information, different fun things that are going on, different opportunities. Hey, my wife yells at me because my favorite four-letter word is free. I always say if it's free, it's for me. The Challenger Community News is free. She said my favorite four-letter word should be love. Hey, I love love too, but I dang sure love free too. So check out the challengercommunitynews.com. You got any questions, thoughts, concerns, want to get an article in there, something that's bothering you in the community that you want to talk about, give a call to the editor-in-chief, 585-766-3590. Hey, let's go ahead. It's that interview time. Let's get on the mic. Mic time. Let's go get into our one and only. We're going to go ahead and bring on our guest for this week. We're really excited to have him here. We got Pastor Daryl Blue, the baseball aficionado, man. What's going on? How you feeling big time? Memorial AME Zion's finest. How you feeling?
Feeling good this morning. How you doing, gentlemen?
Come on.
Good.
Doing well. Excited to have you, man. But I don't know. I'm a Yankees fan.
Oh.
So I'm looking. Yeah, that's a little bit of my feeling right now. I'm like, we can't hit ourselves out of a paper bag, man. It's Aaron Judge or nothing. So I'm trying to feel good like you because as far as I remember it, you're an Atlanta Braves fan, right?
I'm an Atlanta Braves fan all day.
Come on, man. Y'all winning like crazy. 54-27 right now. Ronald Acuna Jr. Man, y'all got some boys. Ozzy Albus, man. Y'all got a squad. Talk to us about the Braves and what's making y'all so successful, especially since y'all won a chip here recently.
Yeah, 2 years ago. So one of the things is I think as I was watching the baseball game last night, we won 16-4 against the second ranked Marlins, which I'm surprised we beat them, that well. But I think one of the things is this team this year, from top to bottom, there's really no holes in our lineup. A real good hitting team, and our managers said it the other day. I think the thing that's helping us this year is we're not striking out. We're making contact with the ball, playing excellent defense. And what's interesting is we don't have all of our starting pitchers right now. Wright is out, Freed is out, and people are stepping up. I look at our pitching staff, and Charlie Morton's coming through this year. We have Strider that's still pitching well, and we just have a good all-around team. I mean, we were 21-4 in the month of June. We only lost 4 games the whole month. We've been on a tear right now. Our guys are just hitting the ball.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jay.
So, I'm going to take it another step a little further. I have a media outlet, Zeal Talk Upstate, where we connect faith with sports. Mm-hmm. We didn't get there yet, Fanatic, but I did want to shout out your boy, Louisiana native and LSU hitter, K. Beloso. He was quoted saying, "You just have to thank God." After that World Series win. So, Pastor Blue, just want to know, what's the importance? As I interviewed athletes and got a chance to talk to them, everyone seems to be connected so deeply in their faith, and it kind of transforms right there on the field. What to you is the importance of having these athletes, just so embedded in faith and proclaiming their faith? What's the importance of faith in sports to you?
Something I notice every time, as you mentioned at the very beginning, Ronald Acuna Jr. and a lot of athletes, anytime they're successful in hitting the ball, they're praising God, they're kissing up to God. Yeah, because one of the things they recognize, and I think all of us, whatever profession we are in, we know we can't do this without God. And so I look at them as they play, and with them praising God for and thanking God for them doing all the things they're able to do, it's so important, and so with them connecting their faith in their sport, I think it's hopefully encouraging other little leaguers and college athletes who are coming through, saying, listen, there's a power outside of yourself. I mean, you may have the talent, but to get the opportunities that some of these athletes have, it takes, God to help you to achieve and to get to the places that you will ultimately aspire to get to. So I just look at that, and I think it is important that faith is an essential part of the game. It's that other tool that people need that they may not often talk about.
And I guess just adding on to that, Pastor Blue, how do you see the coverage of media with faith in sports? Like to me, a different sport, Tim Tebow, it was really, really big for him. And then that became a whole kind of situation. We could have that conversation. We could not have that conversation. I think that played a part of the reason why he didn't continue to get jobs in the NFL.
Right.
But also, we know his play. He was really, really average to really below average. And I'm being nice because he's an SEC guy.
Right.
I like my LSU Tigers. So just talk about media, the coverage of faith. What's your thoughts on that, how it intertwines and intersects with sports?
Well, what's interesting is, as you're saying, it kind of depends on the sport. Baseball, as we've been talking about, is more, I guess, open to that. As far as football, people do it. But like you said, with Tim Tebow as an example, he, I really look at, I think that's one of the reasons he got as many chances as he did. As you said, he was just an average player. But I think because he was so embedded in his faith, God allowed all of those opportunities and doors to continue to be open for him, even though he was not a quality quarterback, But listen, he had some surprise wins with Denver to help, in the playoffs with them. And so, I look at him like, he didn't do great, but he had enough play that he was able to, have some success in the NFL. Not a lot, but, so other athletes, they express their faith, whatever it is. So I think it is important. So I think it ultimately ended up helping him, like I said, Tebow, along the way.
And to piggyback off of that, Fanatic, I think we did see a huge shift. And it always takes just like a huge moment in sports for everybody to recognize, okay, we know who's in charge. We know what we got to do. And, that moment was the Damar Hamlin situation, the young man who stopped. He was out of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
They brought this man back to life, and it was prayers for Damar all over the place. Prayers for Damar on ESPN, praying for Damar on Fox. So I think that was a huge light bulb to say that, the media definitely has the power to continue the story and take over the narrative and really put God where he needs to be.
Right.
As Pastor Blue said, it's that inner calling, it's that higher power. We have the talent, but the opportunity is there, and it only comes from the man upstairs. So I'm excited for the shift, and definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, for me, it was phenomenal to see this pause, everyone praying on the field, because at that time, what else could be done? You couldn't play. A young man's life was at stake, and they were just trying to do what they could to help him to be able to survive, to have life. And it was powerful to pause. One of the things I think that interested me during that point is, some people, and it really depends on who you are. Some people looked at it as a positive, where people were praying, and then others were like, finally, there's prayer or something in sports. And I'm like, just because people don't publicly do it doesn't mean they don't have a private relationship. So I was a little offended at some religious leaders taking it a little too far, because I know athletes and I know they have a relationship with God, but it doesn't mean on the field often that they always have to publicly do the things that we saw during that incident. But I think they naturally reverted to what they do. So that was the powerful thing to me, to see them actually do it.
Great point. Excellent point.
Great point. Hey, just so everybody knows, we're talking to Pastor Daryl Blue, Memorial AME Zion, but also, as you can see, man, he's a doctor of the baseball world and a faith master right here. So, Pastor Blue, talk to us, man. Hey, as the baseball season continues to move forward, what are you expecting? Are you expecting another championship for your Braves this year? I know I keep saying them. You mentioned them earlier, and I'm glad you said that, because I've been waiting for you to come on so I can say this. That Miami's Marlins pitching staff, hey, man, I know they had a squad back in the day led by John Pitt, man. Them boys for the Miami Marlins. Again, I got little girls, so sometimes I'm up early, sometimes I'm up late. Man, I think about my man Eduardo Cabrera, Yuri Perez, Jesus Luzardo.
Mm-hmm.
Man, they got a good squad of pitchers. So the Mets, they talk about them, but the Marlins. So overall, the Dodgers, we know, are big ballers as well. Astros coming out the other side. What's going on with these Braves, man? Are you expecting, is it championship or bust this year?
Yeah, for me it is. I think it is championship. Now, our manager, he won't come out and say that just because of his personality. But with this squad, I ultimately believe that they're championship caliber. And so I do feel like we are going to make it to the World Series. I think we can win the World Series. As I said earlier, we're playing this well and we don't have our full squad. The Mets, you watched their owner the other day come out. I really think they need to start selling. At trade deadline, I think they need to start selling. They have one of the highest payrolls, and they're struggling. Yeah. The Dodgers are going to be in it because, right now, I think they're just not, the chemistry's just not there. I think they just need some time, and I think the second half, they're going to heat up.
Wait, Pastor, let me jump in on that. It's funny though, and we talk about religion and sports. They had a whole thing about the LGBT Christianity. So I've been kind of watching that, Blue. I've been watching it. I see what you're doing. Go ahead.
Right. We're gonna see. So with Freddie Freeman, our old Brave, Mookie Betts, they have a squad now. They mentioned the other day, Kershaw, their pitcher, he got hurt. Well, they said it was fatigue. They were just saying that the manager came out and said they've been putting too much pressure on him. The Marlins are going to be right there. The Phillies, I think they're going to heat back up. They had the same team that made it to the World Series last year. But I think they're going to be the major teams that are in it. And surprisingly, who is it? I'm thinking about the Central now. The Reds. The Reds are playing well this year.
Yeah, the young boy, Ellie De La Cruz, man.
Right. And so
last week.
Yeah, so I will see how they play out, the Reds, but I definitely think the Braves are going to be in the World Series. I don't know who we're going to play yet, because the Rays in the AL, Houston, and I'm thinking about the earlier series we had with Houston. We struggled at that, but we were not playing like we are now. So I think it's going to be interesting if we play, because we don't play them again the rest of the season. So it will not be until both of us make it to the World Series that we'll play them again. But that may end up being the AL champion.
Hey, and I will just say, J-GILLZ, I'm gonna pass it to you right back on this. But it's so funny to me, Pastor Blue. Everybody talking about the Rays when they started out so hot. Your Atlanta Braves in the win column, y'all only have 3 less wins.
Right.
So you guys, man, the way that they talked about the Rays, y'all need to get a little bit more love, I think.
Right.
I got it. Y'all are on fire right now, and this is y'all in tuning me in. It's July, and I'm excited for November and October. So I'm just trying to get the more wisdom. Atlanta Braves, I'm here for it. Can you talk to us about you're going to be a panelist, I believe, on Wednesday for the new film, The League,
Yes.
discussing the Negro Leagues and the team that was right here in Rochester. Can you tell us a little bit more about that and where people can catch this movie in the panel?
Yeah, so we will be at the Little Theater. And yes, as you said, I was asked to be a panelist. So we're going to look at the movie and screen it. And so at that time, after watching the movie, we'll have a Q&A. So people will be able to ask questions and talk to the three panelists and basically just have a conversation and talk about how the Negro League helped to shape what the MLB has become today. We had to look at all of the major players that started off, who helped to get into baseball and to help change the dynamics, bring that athleticism, bring that intellectual, ness to baseball as African American. So I'm looking forward to the movie and looking forward to having this conversation about baseball, because it was not just about baseball, as we've been talking about religion in baseball, but it was just real life for them, because we know that time, that era, and it helped the country to see that we were just normal human beings, people with character, people with families, and all of that. And so I'm looking forward to having this discussion and conversation.
Absolutely. We're excited for it. It's going to be July 5th at the Little Theater, 7 p.m. You can get your tickets online. The award-winning director's interviews about not only his journey in making the film, but also that of the players in the Negro League Baseball who triumphed over adversity in the face of segregation. It's going to be a great film.
Yeah, hey, we got two more coming up here for two more questions on my end.
Okay.
Hey, just piggybacking off of that, the list. I mean, we got a lot of great ball players in the game today. Where do you think, from your point being a part of that film, then to where we are now? Let's talk about 2023 MLB season. Where would you say the trajectory of the black baseball player? What are you seeing? Are we on an upward trajectory, downward trajectory? Is it still the same? What's your thoughts about the black man's role in the Major League Baseball?
Unfortunately, we're on a downward trajectory. We don't have as many black baseball athletes integrating into or assimilated into the Major League. And part of it, I think, is a lot of parents are pushing their kids towards basketball or football. And we see an uptick in the Hispanic population in baseball. But baseball is a wonderful sport. And so hopefully, I know some black Major League Baseball players are doing more camps and academies, trying to bring it into the community so that the kids can see the benefit of this team sport, because it's not just, as we've been talking about all morning, not just about the game and the athletes there, but how it connects to the community, and that you can be in this position to help to teach and to bring certain things to your local community as a Major League Baseball player. And so hopefully we'll get more that are interested in the sport. I think with the new rule changes, the sport for me has dynamically changed for the better. And I mean, shorter baseball games, wider bases. I just think that it's definitely helping to speed up the game. It is a lot more enjoyable to watch this season.
Oh, I'm definitely with you on that, and I love it. Again, with my two little kids, I like to be like, it's been at least 3 different times where I looked up at the TV and said, "Man, I feel like I just saw the first inning. Now we already in the 4th inning." Like, man, I'm like, did we fast forward the game? It's like, nah, we still in real time. So I do like that. And we got Carl chiming in. Appreciate you, Carl, on YouTube. Base running was never the same after we got to the Major League.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely can see that. But hopefully now, man, I've been seeing these stolen bases been up a whole lot so far this year, so that's been a lot more exciting. I would say my last question to get you out of here, Pastor Blue. I know we took a lot of time this morning, and we so appreciate it, man. The time is just again. I feel like I'm watching the baseball game. Man.
Right.
Like it started. Now we already in the 4th inning. Man.
Right.
Hey, I just want to just connect with you on. To me, my man Domingo Herman. Again, I talk. I'm a Yankee fan.
Mm-hmm.
Stayed up late. Honestly, I fell asleep, and then woke back up and saw. I'm like, wait a minute, no hits, no errors. My man got a perfect game going.
He got a perfect
Domingo
game.
Herman threw a perfect game for the Yankees against those sorry Oakland Athletics. I think I know some cats up in Cobbs Hill, and I definitely know my LSU Tiger boys. They might give them a run for their money because the A's. Ooh, good God Almighty! But my question to you is. If you're going to a game and then historical, what's the record that you would like to see broken? Because to me, the one record that I don't see ever being broken, not Barry Bonds' not the hits record. I think Cal Ripken's Iron Man streak of over 3,000 games played consecutively, that record is the one to me that's going to stand the test of time for eternity. By the time Jesus come back, Cal Ripken will still have that record, I believe. So talk to us. Well, what's the record that you would love to see? We saw L.A. De La Cruz hit for the cycle in a game. So what would you say in a particular game that you would want to see? And then on a historical perspective, what's the record that you just are like just so in awe or just impressed by?
Well, number one, I agree with you. That would be a record I would like to see. It's so hard nowadays because knowing Cal Ripken and watching how he played injured. He played consecutively, but he wasn't always in the best of health sometimes when he played. And nowadays it's so hard for the athlete to play consecutive like that. I don't think their bodies are the same. I think they're bigger, faster, and all of that. But I think their makeup is different. Those players, those old school players, they just had a different body. And so I would love to see that. I would actually love to see a perfect game, though. Just a perfect game. Someone go out there and pitch and watch that. I love hitting. I love people hit home runs. But the art of pitching is just fascinating. And I always go back to one of our former Atlanta Braves, Greg Maddux, to me. He was a masterful pitcher. He could just maneuver that ball, and wherever he wanted to put it, it just seemed like he had pinpoint accuracy, and he can put it there. So watching someone with his type of skill pitch, I can watch it all day. So that would be my answer.
Good deal. All right, now. So, hey, Pastor, from Memorial AME Zion Church, my home church in Rochester, New York, but also our baseball aficionado, man. We appreciate you coming on. This is always your parking spot. You can come pull up with us, kick us some knowledge, man. You got a VIP parking spot with your name on it. So we're excited to come see and check you out as we get march towards September, see how your Braves are doing, and have conversations moving forward. So thanks for being with us this morning on the Real Deal Sports Show.
Thank you so much.
Pastor Blue, we appreciate you. We can't wait to divulge in more of this great topics, great conversation. And shout out to you and your wife. I know that they're going to be celebrating you all this Sunday at the church. So definitely congratulations on that.
We appreciate it. I told Brother George, it's always a privilege to be able to be on the show, and love just talking about sports in general, baseball, basketball, any of them. I watch all sports. I just enjoy being on the show. So thank you so much.
No doubt, man.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you soon.
Down, Pastor Blue.
Okay. Take care, guys.
All right, now. Hey, man. Again, we get to hear from Pastor Blue, man, baseball aficionado, pastor during the day, big, huge sports fan that's knowledgeable at night. So,
yes, sir.
Hey, it's time. We got to get ready to wrap it up, man. Hey, I just want to go ahead. It's time. Got to shout out them LSU Tigers, man. What a run they had. Hey, we keep talking down here to Bayou Twos. Yes, let's go. Get the ring finger. We have had now Kim Mulkey win a championship in their second year. We had our LSU baseball, our coach, win a championship in his second year. Just so the world knows, I'm not telling you what to do, how to do it. But Brian Kelly, this is his second year coming up. Something good about twos, might want to put a little money on it. Or for me, J-GILLZ got all the money. So I call the J-GILLZ bank and say, hey, can I get some money? Let me put some money. So, hey, LSU college baseball, it was super dope to see the parade, man, and to have them get celebrated. So shout out to the LSU baseball team. And I think football, hey, it's 100 degrees out here. Our boys are still out here practicing. It's crazy. So really excited about that. Hey, we talk about college sports and people are complaining about NIL. I want to shout out former Duke Derek Lively Jr. During college. His mom got sick, so he took the NIL the NIL money to bring his mom closer to the Duke area in North Carolina, so he can be with her and help her gain her back to health while also being a college student. So we talk about NIL and can these young people handle their money? I wanted to shout out a great story for Derek Lively. His mom is definitely a whole lot better, so he brought her up there to closer to him with the NIL money. So this again, back in the day, these people had to get these secret bags of money, different things like that, man. But Derek Lively was great with his money to give it to his mom to bring her closer to him during his college years. Now he's in the league and can really take care of her. So
shout him out, man. Beautiful story, excellent story. Let's go, let's get it. Real Deal Sports Show.
This how we do. We bring sports of all sorts. We got the music. So my last point here, all right, the G League affiliate of the Sacramento Queens, as I call them. Obviously, I know they're Sacramento Kings, but back in my day as a Laker fan, they were still the Sacramento Queens, and they will still stay that way. But the Stockton Kings, the first time in history that not one but two women will lead the G League affiliate. Head coach and the GM both are women. So shout out to them. I think about this world. I've always thought about women in their place, but especially now with two little girls. Hey, man, that's a big, big thing. So Sacramento Queens, I still don't, y'all all right with me with them Laker days. Some great battles, but the Stockton Kings, a lot of love from us here at Real Deal Sports Show, man.
Absolutely.
So wanted to shout them out. Backspin, you ready?
Yes, sir.
My man,
You
Backspin.
already know, man. Back time, make sure. I appreciate y'all, man. You know the Real Deal Sports Show every Saturday morning, man. J-GILLZ, Fanatic, Radman is MIA today, but that's okay. Y'all still held it down for him, man.
Hey, got to try and do it. Hey, just know, whenever you ready to come down to the Bayou for a championship parade, Backspin, hey, you will be the DJ. We'll get you hired. Come on down and get some of this gumbo jambalaya, man. I got you.
I am ready. You heard? I love New Orleans cuisines. You know what I'm saying? So, y'all eat really, really well down there in the Bayou, man. I can't front.
Hey, I'm trying to make sure I find the gym, man, because I got to make sure I go for a run, too. Get myself right.
No doubt. Appreciate y'all, man. Real Deal Sports Show every Saturday morning, 8 a.m. right here on the Beat 105.5. We'll check in with you guys next week. You dig? Have a great 4th of July weekend, fellas.
Yes, sir. Enjoy yours as well. Appreciate y'all, family. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Like, subscribe to us. We'll see y'all next week.
No doubt. Keep it locked right where you got it, Rock City. Y'all know the vibes. The Bag of Time Mix Show is on the way. And, all weekend long. It's the 4th of July ticket explosion, courtesy of the Beat. Keep it locked for more details.